I just completed my mile workout, which is the minimum I have for my cardio exercise, which eventually I'll get to the point where I can go to the gym. But some days, if I don't sleep well, are really a struggle, really difficult. And I just am not able to get into the cardio or even do any workout. But sometimes I'll do even a half a mile, because even just 1 mile makes such a difference. If you jog a mile and really get that cardio and get your heart rate up, because you need that from time to time just to flow, get that flow in your body, the increased heart rate for whatever blockages or buildup. And so doing that, I feel like, is the minimum, because in your work life, you never really quite get your heart rate up and get that movement, that the stepping, the stomping, the vibrations in the body. It really makes a big difference. And while I was running, I was thinking about contemplating self-worth and the ways I've improved my self-worth in the last couple years, and having a healthier disposition with life as far as my viewpoint towards myself and others. And the thing I want to talk about is regarding that is not shaming things or feeling cringe towards things, like just accepting them. Not to say everyone does that, but I see the look on a lot of people's faces, and even things like empathizing, or a word people probably wouldn't like more is pitying. But it's okay to pity things and people, because a lot of people miss out. This might sound really arrogant and maybe cringe to you, but and I don't think it is, but that's just me. And that is, I pity those who didn't have the perception to want to engage in a relationship with me, who I've asked before. And it's fine. Like, it's not like I resent them or anything. Like, everyone has their own limitations, and yeah, it's a pity that they couldn't have that experience with someone that was able to see them and appreciate them like I was able to. And I feel like that's the way we should think about it. Like, it is interesting too, on that note, that I've mostly approached women, and women don't really approach men. I think that's happened like 2 or 3 times in my whole life, where I've been approached by a woman. I've been approached by many men. Not many, but definitely several times more than women. But talk about male and female roles. If you want to break out of something that only females do or only males do, like, be the one who's courageous enough to just ask. I mean, it's like they say, the worst thing that happens is the person says no, which is a vulnerable place to be, to get rejected, because it's like the feeling is, wow, the person didn't even have what it takes to see me and appreciate me, and to be able to have that special experience with me. And that's okay too. I don't even want to shame fear or shame a limitation. I don't, or even shame or fear. Yeah, relationships are wild, but I think it's totally acceptable and not cringe to pity those moments where someone wasn't able to see you and appreciate you and even give you the chance. It's like clothing. Like, to really know if something fits, you have to try it on, right? And a lot of people are too fearful, or just they don't have the vision to appreciate. And it also takes courage to put yourself out there and be vulnerable enough to ask someone if they'd be interested in either a beautiful, intimate experience or just a platonic, fun outing, to get to conversate and start with some small talk, get to the deeper talk, and feel free and hold space for someone and ask them questions. I feel like oftentimes I'm the one in a conversation almost interviewing the person, asking them questions, and they just sit there and have me do all the heavy lifting in the conversation, which is fine. I'm pretty used to it by now, but I want to encourage people out there, like, ask questions, like, share your own stories, like, because when you share stories, it can make the other person maybe identify with certain things and appreciate them, and also feel vulnerable enough to open up and describe their own stories. And that's where the sharing, the communion between people originates. So yeah, oftentimes I look back, and I guess I could say I even have moments I don't carry on and pine on about it. Well, I guess that's not true. I have at times, but for the most part I don't. But I also a little bit have had times of pitying myself, of pitying Deja, that people in his field just when approached and asked by me, just it didn't have what it took to appreciate me and see the really awesome opportunity of me asking to just go on an outing or hang out, and they just didn't. They were too limited to be able to appreciate me and value me enough to take me up on that fun outing or thing I wanted to do. And maybe to them, I was too good to be true. And that's the kind of self-worth I'm talking about, okay? It might sound arrogant. Maybe it is. Who cares? Who cares? Feel good about yourself. Know yourself. Like, know all the awesome things about yourself. And know, also know the struggles you have and the areas that you need to work on, and put more intention into developing and maturing a certain part that you might struggle with, maybe with other people or yourself or whatever. Because whenever you feel awkward or are struggling with something, even if you don't say it out loud and you hold it in, it's still something that kind of other people feel in the ambiance of the room. And I just wanted to make a video on this because people oftentimes are so uncomfortable being asked, uncomfortable being vulnerable, uncomfortable just having a conversation, even though it might not seem like it. I can kind of feel it, but I am a little more attuned to those sensitivities, and it used to like throw me off if someone was insensitive towards my sensitivities, but now I realize, I don't take it so hard. After a while, you're able to mature enough to, maybe you're sensitive towards something, but you're more vulnerable in a way where you still have your guard up, but you're also able to be vulnerable. I'll probably find a better way to iterate what I'm saying there, but both can be possible kind of at the same time. And when you're able to be comfortable in a space with someone, it can make that more comfortable, unless you're overly comfortable about things that are maybe you shouldn't be, like just overtly talking about very lecherous things that you're having to, like with thoughts towards people, because people are passionate here, and it's okay to be passionate. In other countries, people are a lot less cringe towards being propositioned and stuff. I've never really propositioned a stranger because I need to establish trust first. I would be too anxious to like get comfortable enough to engage in a intimate encounter. So wow, already at 10 minutes.